Welcome to the episode 3 of Life Career Roadmap in Australia. And today's guest is Karina Machado from Venezuela, a mechanical engineer that has migrated not just once, but many times. And we'll be now listening to her journey. She'll tell us about her journey in Australia. Is that right, Karina?
Thank you. Hi, hello everyone. Thank you, Cema, for inviting me. I really have to say that congrats for this activity. You are always helping people, professional migrants, to find a fit in this country because we have the potential, we have the experience, but sometimes in terms too cultural or confidence or maybe the language, we have a lot of barrier that even we put by ourselves. So your team is always helping us, have been helping me in my case to develop my skills and to move on for a professional development. Thank you.
Thank you too for coming in, for agreeing to share your journey in different moments of your life, migrating to different places and developing yourself to the point you just arrived in Australia. So, Karina, I would like to know more about where you come from in Venezuela. What made you to move to a new country? And yes, and as we go, I would like to know more about your profession as well. But let's start off with where you come from and what made you to change countries.
Yeah, that's a good question. Thanks for asking, Emma. Yes, I was born in Venezuela, then in a small city in the state. And then, well, I studied mechanical engineer back in this small town. And then we don't have enough industry to work there, so I have to migrate from this city to another city, the Maracaibo, which is have a lot of oil companies. So I start to work in the oil industry back in Venezuela. Then I get married, and then I have two twins, beautiful twins. Then Venezuela, things political things are getting so bad. And then, well, my husband is mechanical engineer as well and reliability specialist. We decide, okay, let's move because let's migrate to another country because here in Venezuela we don't have opportunity, even for our daughters, because we want for them a better future. Back in my country, even you have a lot of money, you cannot have a quiet life because it's situation. You can be in risk for your life. So we decided to move to Argentina because back in that time, the oil company in Argentina, offered my husband all the package to move from Venezuela to Argentina. So yeah, we decided, okay, let's go to Argentina, let's move on. And then back in Argentina, we spent 6 years there, and it was the same. Argentina was starting to bad situation, no future for our daughters. In that moment, they had 10, 11 years old. So my husband started to look, okay, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Australia. So, okay, let's go to Australia. But in that moment that we live in Argentina, I never worked as a professional, as a mechanical engineer, just a couple of small work, but I didn't do like my career. So, my career. So I'm starting to work in sales, in marketing, different activities because the important thing is to keep moving. And then I decided to start my master in business administration. I finished my master, and then we moved to Australia. My husband initially was going to do his master, and then we swapped, and I did my master here, and he started to work professional. And then I found the Kaleidoscopio program, and I found the support and all the coach information that I need to develop and to start to work as a professional, as a mechanical engineer.
Yes. So
Yes,
you,
always looking for a professional future for my daughters and for my husband and me.
yeah. So I remember when I met you, was the idea of going straight to do business administration or marketing or come back to your career as mechanical engineer. So what made you to decide to come back to mechanical engineering that time?
That's
It was a
another
big shout
tricky
for you,
one.
right?
Yes, it's crazy because even I did my master in marketing innovation management here, and then I was looking for work as a sales representative because I work as a sales representative back in Venezuela and Argentina. And then I have my coach in my mentor here in Kaleidoscopio, and then I couldn't find my the job that I really want in that moment as a sales representative. And then I have opportunity to start to work in a small project as a flock validation for mechanical engineer. And my mentor told me, "Well, Karina," because I was telling her, "You, oh my goodness, I only have this option." I said, "Well, Karina, you never know. Maybe life is offering you what will be the future. So smile, be the best version, and let's do." Sounds good. I hear her advice, and I start to work again as a mechanical engineer, and step by step, in finding more and more jobs and gaining experience in the industry. So I'm extremely happy that I get back with my career. But it was an advice from my mentor in Kaleidoscope.
Uh-huh. And in the case, you still have these skills as business administration and innovation that you I see your post on LinkedIn. You are always talking about innovation and new ways of doing what we do, business or even in mindset. So you are very a strong advocate for innovations, right?
Yes, because this is the way to keep us continuing life. Because if we keep reinvent ourselves and innovate in different and adapt to new scenarios, to new professional challenges, to new country, always adapting, one of the main tools that we have is to do innovative, to try to work out, to see what is in the trend, what is the tool that we are using. Even back in all these jobs that I've been developing, I didn't have enough experience in what the position and the role. But I say, okay, let's move forward, let's study, let's try to figure it out. And then step by step, I found my feet and I discover really what is my passion, what is finally, well, I say finally for a couple of years, but you know what I mean.
Let's see what comes next.
Exactly. But always keep inventing, keep innovating, keep changing your mind, open the mind for new challenges, for new ways to do things.
Yes. So coming back to your decision of doing mechanical engineering. So you said you live in a very small town in Venezuela and that you didn't have much job there. But what made you to decide really to think about mechanical engineering as a profession for you?
Yeah, well, it's a funny situation because I was going to study architecture, and my parents, with 20 something years ago, my parents were, "Karina, where are you going to study architecture? Architecture is for rich people. I mean, you're not going to survive." So I say, okay, I like the math. I like always finding solutions, solving problems. I mean, for me, a problem is an opportunity to learn. So I say, okay, mechanical engineer, always finding the new process, new things, try to do mechanical things. So I say, okay, that's my way. Try to go for mechanical engineer, and I found my passion there. Even nowadays, I really find another area of mechanical of engineer that I like is asset management. So yes, always trying to be productive, to be problem solving person.
Yeah, so as you said, mechanical engineering is a very broad area. And did you have an idea what kind of jobs would you be able to do as mechanical engineer
A
at that
lot,
time?
a lot, because it's a very
Yeah, but
wide.
that time when we started, did you have an idea that, oh my goodness, I can do many things different?
No, at all, Cema, at all.
Yeah.
But I love when I don't know anything. It is the most. I mean, when I'm completely scared because I don't know, this is what passion me. Because, for example, every time that I start a new job, I say, "Oh my God, I don't have any clue what I'm going to do." But I start and then figure it out, and then I learn. So yes, back at that moment, I don't have any clue. Imagine I was 17 years old. But yeah, now I'm here.
Yes. So, and now talking about the process of leaving your country to go to a new country because it was uncomfortable to be there because of the political situation. So, what was your main difficulty or barrier moving from Venezuela to Argentina? Two countries that speak the same language, a little bit different, but speak the same language and Latin culture. So what was the big barriers for you in arriving in Argentina and having your life in Argentina?
Yes, it's kind of similar to some of the barriers that I found here. It's firstly, the cultural aspect, because even we are Venezuela, Argentina, but back Argentina is like the small European in America. So the culture was completely different. Yes, it was different, and it was one of the first barrier. Even I think that, well, between a few reasons that I couldn't work as a professional back in Argentina as a mechanical engineer, was that because I didn't know the cultures and how was the process, what was the role as a woman, as a migrant, as an engineer in the field force.
So, and then you went to study in there too. So you have done some courses in Argentina.
Yes, because I say, well, if I can find a job as a mechanical engineer, at least as a marketing or sales representative. So for that reason, I did pharmaceutical sales, marketing pharmaceutical, and then I did my MBA, trying to find, professional tools to develop and to work in one of my careers.
Okay.
But yeah, I couldn't find a good job there. So.
Yes, and for your kids and your husband, was the same barriers, or kids just adapted much easier than?
Yes, my husband and me at the same level, but well, we went there. My husband already have a job in YPF, and it was a oil company. But yes, at least he can in that opportunity he can work. But my daughters, no, the kids are easy to adapt. They were so exciting, and they adapt quickly. And in Argentina, well, they receive a good education. They study in a bilingual school for kids. It's easier. Until 10, 11. Now when they are teenagers, like tricky
Yes,
one. But
there. And then, sorry, you moved to Australia. So you said it was very similar barriers. What is the universal barriers that you see moving from your country to Argentina and then to Australia? Universal ones that happened there and happened here.
cultural.
The culture is the main one, as I said before. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Well, here in Australia, the language.
Yes.
And also the experience, not having experience
Local experience to
in
work.
this country.
Yeah.
But it was the same back in Argentina, because I couldn't
Really?
find experience in Argentina. And then when they see my CV, they saw, you don't have experience back in Argentina. Yeah, I couldn't find a job. How can I get experience?
Yeah, it's good that you're talking about this, because normally people say there is a very thing about Australia, and especially Western Australia, that Australian employers, they want local experience and people also to have an experience with the culture in the workplace in Australia. So you found the same thing in Argentina then?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the language. The barrier for the language we don't have, because in Argentina we speak Spanish as well. But the cultural, yes, the culture, the experience, yes, and also that we don't have like a mentor, a coach to give us like this support. Because back in Argentina, if I had any mentor system back in Argentina, probably I couldn't find it. But it's like you are throwing CVs like crazy without any profile or any logic sequencing. So here I found this with the program, with the mentor program, that okay, the CV is in that way. This is the way, for example, back in America, we put our picture. Here in Australia, we don't put the picture, the reference. So I think that the program, I mean, somebody who help you with networking, with any mentor stuff, I mean, will have a huge difference, definitely.
That's right. So the other thing, Karina, is regarding, as you said, the local experience. You came to Australia and you didn't have any experience working in the field here in mechanical engineering, but you had some experience working as with sales, right? But not in the sales, in the field that you want to be doing sales, but you had some experience.
Mm-hmm.
So how was for you to get this job in mechanical engineering, not having experience? Did you apply for this job or something that was offered to you? How this job came to you?
Good one as well. Networking.
Networking, right?
Networking. This is another thing that I learned here in Australia that I didn't have back in Argentina. Yes, networking is important because you can have an excellent CV and you can have all the master, PhD, whatever. But if you don't have a person who can introduce you to the right way to another company it was a pilot project, even it was a full position. But one of the things that my mentor told me, Karina, once you put one first step in the professional field that you want, you are going to keep, even for a 1 year, 1 month, whatever, you are going to keep, because it's like a continuity. It's like an energy that will continue. So I have this, it was a pilot project for a friend who worked in another company. He knew my husband recommended me, and then I started this project, and after that, all the job opportunities were open for me because I have this 1 month experience, 1 month and a half.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing, huh?
Yes,
Amazing.
it's a blessing.
And that's the point when people don't see networking as important, and going it's not just going to events to grab people and say, hey, I need a job, give me a job, but it's much more when people trust you and know your values and how you can contribute to a project, like you went there and could contribute, instead of saying, I don't have a job, and begging for a position. It's what you see. So if there are many newcomers, they think that when you go to networking events, and normally I say during my workshops, is you go there and you meet people, the first thing that you say that you are looking for jobs.
No.
And then it's like you put someone
in a hard position.
Yeah, in a very, very delicate position, right? So it's the ability to have conversations and being very genuine about who you are and how much you can contribute, because we all can contribute. But normally newcomers, we don't know how to when you come to a new country, right?
Yes, and even at the beginning, we thought that the networking is hire me, looking for who is the CEO, who is. No, you will never know. Maybe the person who is cleaning the tables, or the person who is cleaning, no, one person, another, and the second, maybe the presenter. You never know. Just have genuine conversations, natural conversations, who you are, what are you interested. Maybe at the moment, even in the moment of the event, you never know. But at the future, you will connect the dots. At the future, you never know.
Yes. And after this month and a half experience that you had working this project, what was the next step to get the next job?
Okay, it was another 1 month and a half for networking as well. It was for a business, the administrator for ENI, oil company, but it was just doing the long leave for the administrator. But talking about connecting the dots, you never know where are you going to use this skill. In that position, 1 month and a half, I learned to use SAP, how to move all the SAP models. Of course, I was doing SAP in the part of the purchasing, approval, or administrative SAP, but I get familiar with the tool. which I start to use. Then 1 month, 2 months and a half that I found another job in a company. And the third company, it was, my case is like a, Netflix will do a story with me, because in the third job that I found professional, I was working for another company, a consultant with Rio. Apparently, because we didn't get the project, was another company. So one person in Rio told to the company that have the big projects. Okay, we remember we have one person, Karina. He was working with another company, but she did a good job. Blah blah blah. And then the other company called me and say, okay, I have reference from you, from somebody from Rio, so you can join us. I said, oh my goodness, I don't know. I still nowadays, 2 years after, I don't know who give the good reference of me. So, oh my goodness, I don't know what
Blessing the person.
yes, but see, Cema, you never know. You never know.
know.
You have to be kind. You have to be genuine. You have to be always with a good, but it's true and honest, good attitude, because you never know who is going to connect the dots in the future.
And doing your work is spotless, right? So then people remember you because you become memorable.
Exactly. So I don't know what. And then after this company, then my actual job, I found like for another person who know, and to my husband, and then I'm here as a contractor for BHP. That was the company of my dreams. Since the day one that I arrived to Australia, I saw
What's
the
your
video.
dream to work in there? Now you are
Yes.
2 years, right? It's putting
Yes.
your goals in there, and I know you are very into getting your goals and personal development too, right? So you know exactly what you need to think, the way you need to think, and what you need to do to get there, right?
Yeah, step by step.
Step by step. Well done. So working now, where you are working BHP and doing contracts, right? So you said about the SAP. Many people don't know what is SAP, and SAP can be used in many different ways. So can you explain, so someone who doesn't know SAP that may be interested in learning how to use, probably because it's a good tool and can be used in different ways, in different situations?
Yeah, that's a smart move from your side. Ask me for SAP, Cema, because really it's important for all professions, mostly in all engineers and in the mining industry, to know SAP. SAP is a tool that you have all the information from the company. It will be a mining oil industry company, it will be textile company, but SAP is like an automatic administrator who tells you what assets do you have in the company, what is the maintenance, if you work in the maintenance module, or if the administrative will give you all the vendors of the people who work for you. So SAP is like the brain of all the company, where you put all the information, and it depends. What if you want to do a report for sales, you look for one transaction SAP. If you look for any report, you have to figure it out. Of course, SAP is like the whole world. It's so big. But for example, if you ask me an advice for a person who is starting, look YouTube videos, because if you are going to enroll in a SAP course, it's, of course, you need money because it's expensive. But you can look in YouTube videos, because it was my case when I don't have an answer for any situation. YouTube,
Google,
quickly,
YouTube.
quickly. If I know, conveyor, how this develop the conveyors, YouTube, and then LinkedIn. If you have the opportunity to do LinkedIn course, and in LinkedIn we have groups, subgroups, any communities. Try to join and to learn by yourself. At the beginning, I didn't know exactly, well, I wasn't strong in knowledge for SAP, but on weekend at night, I was studying LinkedIn, SAP, all the transaction. Every time I have a doubt, room, I talk with my one colleague, one friend from another company. Hey, what is a transaction to do that? And the person, yes, it is CA 70. What? And I do my job. Always keep looking and keep for all the resources you have available. You have YouTube, you have LinkedIn, you have LinkedIn Learning. Oh, and you have friends, you have community. So look for all the resources until you find the solution, because SAP is a whole world. You're never going to finish learning with SAP. Have a lot of tools.
And they bring always updates and new things that they can add. It's like the soul of the company. You have all the information in there. And I have one client as well, working in finances, and they use SAP as well for their finances to do all the transactions. And you can apply whatever you want to apply to. But it's expensive for a company to have that, but it's investment, right?
Yes.
To have
Yes.
it works.
SAP was initially designed only for finance, but
Mhm.
the rest of the company figured out that SAP is an excellent tool. So after that, the SAP developed the applications or different models for different companies. Even if you keep paying SAP, they are going to give you a special transaction for your company. Of course, you have to.
It's like Agile. When Agile came, it was just IT, basically, and Scrum as well. So now the principles of Agile can be applied in any industry, in any profession, in any kind of work that you do, right?
Exactly. We figured it out that the tool is so wide and also is productive. So yeah.
That's right. So coming back to your migration journey, what have you learned through your migration journey that made you to be who you are today? So what was that point that you said, my migration journey helped me to understand or to know about this?
Yes, well, that's a good one as well, because I have a lot of learning for my migration. But one of the most important is being humble, because you can be the CEO or the owner of the 95% actions of your company back in Brazil. But here you are Pedro Perez.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have experience. So being humble is a big, huge lesson that I learned. And also another is ask for help, because you don't know anything. You always have to learn something new. And if you don't know, be humble and ask for help. And you never know who is going to give you the help or give you the right answer. And the last thing, connecting the dots. You are doing something right now that you don't understand, you don't like this job, or you don't like your boss or your colleagues, but be patient, because something at that moment you're going to learn and you're going to need for the future. Be humble, ask, and do whatever you have to do in a right way, in an excellent professional, because you never know who is looking at you, and you never know in the future how we are going to connect that dot in that moment.
That's right. A good one. Thank you for sharing this. So, Karina, now I know that you have been progressing with your leadership roles, right? So I know you are a very good leader, that you like to organize things, that you like to help others. So tell me more about your new venture that you are directing now with leadership.
You know me, Cema. Yes, I have my eyes with a lot of black holes, but I'm extremely happy. You know what? Even you are tired, you have energy, it's like 10 p.m. and you start your day at 5:30. I am. And it's still 10, 11 p.m. and you say, my goodness, I can't do it. But always there is something that you have to do. You know why? If you do with patience, because you really love what you're doing and you are really convinced that you are going to help somebody, not now, not in the next webinar, but maybe someone in the future is going to see this webinar and going to say, wow, this is a tool that I needed. Thanks for 2 years ago, one person back in Perth, one Venezuelan girl, crazy girl, decided to do this webinar about how to do a job or how to get professional skills in your CV. Well, this is my inspiration, and this is what make me to feel, okay, Karina, you are sleeping, but keep going, because you never know when a person is going to use this. And as this volunteer, it takes for me daily 1 or 2 hours because I am the director, the secretary, the cleaner, I am the market, everything. We run for
All the
that.
roles.
Yeah, happy with all my roles. But yes, I don't know what in the future it will take, or in the future, at least if you can help one person who watched this webinar, who watched this video, and that moment, that person make the switch and learn something from that, everything will be worth. So I'm extremely excited. I'm happy because we are going to have, we are normally do monthly webinars. By December, all the leaders from America, from United States, they're coming to Australia, to Perth, to do a hackathon. So, oh my goodness. So instead of 2 hours daily, I think I'm going
Whole
to
day.
yeah. But Sema, I don't mind. I'm happy because I know that in the future this is going to be a tool for someone who is going to use this.
Yeah, but introduce the tool to us. Say the name of the organization that you are representing, what you are doing, and people can join you, can join the organization. Tell us more.
Also, excellent, thank you. Well, I'm the director of We Run Australia, New Zealand, Women in Reliability and Asset Management. Happened that with this movement, all the women, we are looking for growing in our community because we have the potential, but sometimes we are lack of confidence because we don't have experience, or because my language, because I don't speak English fluent. So in the asset management, we have asset management professionals because most of the members are men, like 80%. Then asset management professional William America started a few years ago, and they start to develop chapters in the whole world. So I meet that girl more about talking about reliability, changing information, the optimal elements. So she said, hey, we are growing and we are expanding. Why do you not get the postulation to do the role as a director of WeRun Australia, New Zealand? I say, oh, seriously? Myself? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do. I don't know what I had to do, but I will learn in the moment, in the pathway. So I say, okay. And then they share my LinkedIn profile to all the leaders back in America. And then, the leader from January, I'm inviting most of the time, most of the webinar this year, like a mix between motivational to professional development. So we are starting with this webinar. So excited! I will have another in May with one person who is living back in Mexico. This webinar is going to be crazy because the difference from Mexico, from America to here is complicated. I cannot go. It's hardly for me go to the webinar that they do in America. And same, my colleagues from America assisting to a webinar in Australia is very hard because the different time. So let's see how it's going with this Mexico professional. But I'm so excited with William. I think that we have a long way to recover, to work with this, but I think that at the end it's going to be worth it.
So any woman can participate, or they need to be in a related field?
No, any woman can participate, any professional woman, because normally the webinars are strategic, for example, a strategic plan to develop in the future the skills, or how to elaborate smart meetings with a short period of time, or how to gain confidence in front of all the board of CEOs for the company, or how to develop your growth professional, or marketing awareness, or I'm going to have one about Agile. I'm still convincing the presenter. Give me a couple of weeks. So we are going to have another with Agile. Will be May, June, July, kind of. So yes, it's a mix. If you are a woman, you are professional. Even men, some men are joining as well the webinar, because if the topic is, for example, how to develop your confidence skill in a presentation, in a 5 minutes tech talk, whatever any person can use, because there are tools that you need in your life. And no matter if you're a woman, we are a woman or man, we are migrants, and we came with the same fears, the same barrier that we put ourselves. So this can be used for men or women, but most of the time we women are the community that is growing in Wirral.
Okay. So here in WA, how many participants do you have now?
In the last webinar,
No, as a community here in WA of for the organization. So you have in different places, but do you have a specific number of people that are in WA participating or not? Or registered?
mine.
Me too.
I had told you, Cema, I'm starting. I mean,
Yeah.
register. I mean,
So no,
one
but I
day in
have
the future,
I
we're
have,
in
I have,
Australia will be successful and
I
people
believe
is going to pay a fee, but now it's free and
that's right. So I watched the last one with Dr. Amy Sari regarding what I didn't learn during graduation, right? So
yes, you
things
were
that
there.
we never think that you'll be using after. And as I usually say, our degree is more to give us the baseline for us to grow and fly, and we learn with life, not just sitting on a desk and waiting for the teachers tell us everything. You need to take the risk to learn.
Yes, because the title gives you education, but you need instruction and you open mind to get this skill that you need to be employability or to do your own business, but you need extra skill that you don't receive at the university.
Okay. So, and now you have two daughters, twins. So now what are the ages of the twins? The age of the twins? 15 now? 14?
19, they are 19.
19, Karina. Oh my goodness. I thought you were just teenagers. Yeah.
No, they already grow old girls. Yes, I'm
So
studying
having
it.
two parents who are engineers, what have they decided to do?
Yeah, it was a hard situation here. One of my daughters, Paola, she's studying the third semester, the mechatronic engineer and computer data science. And Veronica is studying psychology, and she's going to the organization field, psychology, working for a
Organization,
company.
yes.
So, but they both are in the third semester. And
Oh,
yeah, with Paola, she decides to study engineering. My husband and me, yes. And then with the Anna, que is studying psychology, we say psychology. There's a
how come?
psychology
How
too.
come?
Yes, and they say, well, yeah, a lot of field for psychologists, and now moreover in the future, there are a lot of things that a psychology can do. But
That's
yeah,
right.
my husband and me all the time with engineering.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So, Karina, let's go back to all your experience as traveling and moving, migrating. So, if you had to give a piece of advice for someone, a newcomer who is in Australia and could not yet find their feet here, and they are looking for jobs in their career, or they don't know what they want to do, they still like, what is there out there for me? So what kind of advice would you give to someone in that situation that is still searching for the opportunity to be reconnect or transition or find a new career in Australia?
Yes, I think that the step, not the first step, the step zero, find a mentor, find a person who have experience, who give you the way or the ideas or the advice, because we arrive here and our friends or the Venezuelan community, students. So you never find an advice from all, because we are working in the same work, all desperate, and we are doing the same crazy stuff. and we couldn't find a job. So you have to get out from the friendly circle and look for mentor. When you start to work with your mentor, well, you figure it out what the barriers. You have confidence, or you need networking. You need to work out your CV. You need to work out your culture, your language. Every person is different. Every story is different. But for me, the step zero: find a mentor, find a coach who sit with you, who have experience in Australia, and sit with you. Okay, this is the steps. What is your career? What is your professional? Because we need somebody external who help us to connect the link between our experience back in our countries, our profession, and the opportunities that you can find here. Because by yourself, it's hard to find, because you have a bias from yourself, your experience. If you are with your friends, you have the bias of your friends. All of you in the same group, we are doing the same, crazy, sending CVs, but you have to get out from your comfort zone, look for a mentor, a person who experienced, or even though it doesn't have to be experienced in your own field, because in my case with Kaleidoscopia, my mentor was in another field. But it's like holistic advice that they can give you that you cannot find by yourself, or Google, YouTube, internet, or even your own family, or even you cannot have a mentor back from Brazil or back from Venezuela, or no, you need a mentor who lives in Australia.
Yes.
Because it's the person who is here and is going to give advice about here. So no, there is no negotiable, there is no discussion about this step.
That's right. Talking to someone who can give you right information. And normally what we see when we go into our ethnic community is people don't know much about the official information, right, that we can find, or government information. So we start seeing all the information and learn about the country throughout someone else's lenses. And we don't create our own or develop our own views and perceptions because someone tell us that this is this way, and then we believe because we don't know anything different, right? So
this is the only resource that you have on hand, and probably could be useful, but you need to get professional results. You need to look for professional help.
That's right. So it's very wonderful having the warmth of the meeting someone from the community that speaks the same language as, that understand what we are going through. But if you want to move forward, you need to take the risk and to go out and to be able to see things differently through your own eyes, and create your own perception of what is going on, not someone telling you, and then you buy their experiences and then you start seeing things this way. So you get diverted to something else, and then you end up not doing or realizing or achieving the goals that you wanted to achieve when you came to this country. Right?
You can get frustrated and you will say, no, I cannot find, I haven't had look for a professional Australian. What I'm doing is, when I have that person tell me, say, you have to look for help. You're not going to move from that corner if you don't look help. You can even pay that person, pay a lot of money for doing your CV or doing your cover letter. But it's not about your CV or cover letter. It's a whole package, a whole strategy package.
Yes.
So if you want to move from that corner that you are, you need external professional help, because by yourself it's hard. Maybe and then you start stuck in the same corner, and sometimes you get frustrated because you say, oh my goodness, but I'm paying a lot of course. I pay for a person to develop my cover letter. Every time that ad advice in LinkedIn arrives, I'm going to apply. But it's a whole package that you need, a holistic view for this strategy package.
That's right. That's right. So this is the advice for someone who is here and is still stuck in that corner. So for someone like in your case, when you moved from Venezuela to Argentina, you had the company behind you guys bring you to Argentina. And was the same coming to Perth or not? Or you just applied and came?
Yes, here Perth we apply by ourselves.
Okay. And the process, of course, was different because you had the support of the logistic support of the company going to Australia, to Argentina. So the decision to come to Australia and then having to plan everything, what advice would you give to someone based on what you have learned in your experience, moving from one country to another, what they need to consider before they make the move?
Well, this is a tough one because it depends of every personal familiar situation. Oof, it's a really tough one, Cema. You kill me. Because,
You like
for
tough
example,
things. Let's do it.
because it depends on the context as well for the person. If you are, for example, I give you the two extreme basic scenarios. One scenario is a person who comes single and young. He came to Australia, maybe he came for fun, just for studying English, to see what is going on, and get worried from Colombia, get worried of Brazil. So let's go try. Okay, that person can do the amount that he's going to feed, is going to pay is less than a person in my family case that we came the four, we pay for the 4 visas. So for example, for a young people, he can came with any agency, he can give advice. But in the case that the person have more age, kind of more than 35, 40 years with husband and children, I strongly recommend then please talk with a migration lawyer because we don't have time to lose. I mean, we are not 20, 35, 30. And also we have a family who depends on us. So if this project is not like we are going to adventure and do a master in Australia to see what happened and then, okay, back to, no. In that case, we came with our family, with our daughter. So thanks for ask this question because I always wanted to tell that if you are young, you go to any person, any consultancy education. But if you can after 35 or 40 even, you have to come with a migration lawyer and you have to really talk with them. It's kind of a lot of expensive, but at the end it will be worthly because that person is going to tell you, okay, Pedro Perez, you are oil engineer, you are electrician engineer, and you have to go to Sydney, to Melbourne, to Gold Coast, to Perth because you have only 3 years because the age for to apply to the visa even is 45. You are going to fill in a big basket. So you are 45, no, you are 44 years and you apply, but you are competing with people from 39, with 30. So you really need an advice at a professional lawyer in order to not lose your time because we don't
Money.
have time to lose and money.
Yes,
Because
because
you bring with a family. I saw in Facebook the comments of people, no, and people coming of 42 years, 43, and people say, yes, come to Australia, have fun, it's a country opportunity. Yes, everything is perfect. They are completely right. But a person who comes of 42, 43 years, what are the opportunities? If you have a lot of money, you're rich, you are looking for an adventure, is okay because you came and you go back to whatever is your country. But if you are thinking in the future to get a residence to establish yourself here, you need a professional advice from a lawyer to do the right way for the right pathway.
And especially because the rules they change all the time. So even if you go to a website that is not official from the government, and even for a newcomer as who has the English as second language, the language that we read on the websites, the official websites, sometimes you cannot understand because it's not the common language, let's say, that we use every day, right? So it's difficult to understand, and having someone to help and clarifying the situation, it's very important. And normally people ask me what I would advise about visas. I don't advise about visa. I can give the options that they can explore, but the decision belongs to them. And I don't say this is the best visa for us, but these are the options that you have. But get someone who is has the credentials to give you the advice, because I cannot. I just know what is in there, but I cannot tell what's the best option for you. And by the end, even if the agent says to you, this is the best option for you, it's up to you to decide if you want to take it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you know your own risk and you know your own scenario.
That's right. And it was good that you touched base on the age as well, because the only way now that you can, especially here for WA, I was talking to a colleague of mine, is an agent, telling about the options for people above 45 that has changed. And there is only one option that they can do right now to be successful, let's say this way, to have the most success rate for them to be able to stay as a permanent here in Australia. So, and things are changing, and I have been learning as well, just working with my colleagues and consulting them. But no, I don't give advice as this is the best for you, but the options. Yeah. And thinking about moving to a new country, you never have all the information, basically, right? Because things can also change while you are moving, and your expectations as well. So sometimes people have so much expectation, and they think the grass is greener around here until they get the first bill to pay, and then they see that it's the same like back home, right? And
yeah, even if you visit that country as a tourist, because it happened to us. From Venezuela to Argentina, we went as a tourist, and we say, "Oh my goodness, as a tourist, everything is beautiful." Even we went to United States as a tourist as well, and we say, "Oh my God." Then when we live in Argentina, it's not the same as a visiting for 1 month, holidays, than living there, having the responsibility. So it's a good piece of advice as well.
That's right. So, and did you learn English back in Venezuela, or did you learn English on the way to Australia?
I did a crisis course. I did course in Venezuela. I studied back in Argentina, and then here is when where I learned, and just when I started to work as a professional, that I really learned English. You know what, Cema? Because we studied English and then we went to the course. For example, we happened in United States. We went from Argentina to United States to Miami, Orlando, Florida, and then we were having class 8 hours, English, English, English. Then when we finished, Venezuelan community, everybody speaking Spanish. You go to the supermarket in Miami, everybody speaks Spanish. At night, you arrive with your family, everybody speaking Spanish. So we spent like 1 month and a half in Spain university, back in United States, and nothing. Then here, Australia, you find hospitality work. Colombians, Brazilians, Venezuelan, Chileans,
Peruvians,
Peruvians, and even customer service. You talk, and then behind your boss or your colleague, everybody's
the conversations, and then you go.
So the hard moment where you really learn English is when you start to work as, professional English, when you start to work in your role. Because, for example, in my case, I love to listen in and to watch movies in English, but it's not the same. When you have the situation, the hard situation, and you have to speak.
And the business conversation.
Exactly,
a different colloquial one.
Yes, because even nowadays you can go to the supermarket and you find any Colombian speaking, or any Venezuelan, or any Brazilian speaking Portuguese.
And I know you speak a bit of Portuguese, right?
No. I can understand, but I cannot speak. But
Okay.
yeah, this is the only way that you have to face, to learn real professional English when you start to work as a professional, because you can do all the course, you can pay a lot of money, but when you are really in the field, you really learn professional English.
Yes. So speaking, I introduce you as your surname is Machado, as you say in Portuguese. How you say in Spanish, Machado?
Machado.
Machado. And I realized when I said, oh my goodness, I said in Portuguese. So, Karina Machado, my apologies.
No, it's okay, Cema. Your voice is beautiful, so what?
Things that we do and you learn, right? So, but Karina Machado. So, thank you very much for your time, sharing your experience, your journey as a newcomer to different countries and your experience here in Australia. So many newcomers you'll be watching you, and probably many people you come to you wanting to join in your organization too. So probably they can find you on LinkedIn as well, right? So you can, or even having the links to be part of your webinars as well. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Cema, for inviting me. I really admire you. I have to tell you now, I really admire you because you are a strong woman who are always pursuing your dreams. You are getting so far with your goals, and I know your mind, you are thinking a lot of more things to develop. I really admire you, and I wish you all the best in all your projects, because I know you all the things that you do with your whole heart, and it's going to be awesome. All the projects that you are going to develop, you are going to help. You have been helping a lot of people now. With
Yeah.
YouTube, you are going to help the whole community, migration community.
That's right.
Thanks for this space, really, thanks.
Thank you very much. My pleasure having you here, having this chat with you. And I also admire you. I know that you are very experienced helping people, not just professionally, but day by day, helping people to see themselves better, in a better situation, in a better way, and to pursue the dreams. So we had little chats, and then you shared some things that you do, and it's very interesting, very beautiful what you do. So, and I'm sure as well that all your plans and all your goals you'll be achieving soon, and having this hackathon here by December. And I want to, yeah, I want to see that. And I think
Amen.
I'm presenting for you in November, right? So straight away I have a hackathon.
Yes, after your webinar.
I my webinar.
I mean, by the moment of your webinar, I will be like, oh, first day for the hackathon. So that
Okay.
is okay. We enjoy that. We
Yes.
enjoy what we are doing.
So let me know more, because I can share the news about the hackathon also on my social medias, and attract more people to come and make this a beautiful event for everyone to be part of and learn more.
Thank you, Sam. I really appreciate it. Of course, I'm going to, as soon as I have the whole package ready. And in this process, but as soon as I have the whole package, I will let you know all the information, so you can help me and sharing with all the community that is always want to be better and develop professionally.
Yes, and saying that also, I love your country. I have been there many times, and I loved the food, the barbecues on the table, right? The parillas and all the sauces and everything. So for me, Venezuela is one of the most beautiful countries that I visit. The beaches and the scenery and the atmosphere, very, very beautiful. The time when I was there. I'm not sure how is everything going right now, but it was a very, very beautiful country with very lovely people.
Yes, we have very beautiful people with good mood, and I really admire all, because they, whatever situation they have been living, they always have positive mind and always looking the positive things. So I say, oh my goodness, I can't complain for anything here, because if you see that people in your country with all the situation, but they make a meme, a joke,
A joke. Yes, of
make a joke of
everything. All the
every hard
disgraceful
situation.
moments. Yeah.
You say, oh my goodness, I cannot complain. I cannot blame anything, because it's a matter of having good attitude and see always the glass half full.
Yeah.
Really.
Right. So, Karina, enjoy the rest of your evening. And then you have this YouTube video out soon, and I'm sure people will enjoy this conversation that we had here.
Thank you, Cema, for
Thank
inviting me,
you.
and have a lovely evening.
You too.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.